Hi, I'm Amanda Freed, and as promised, I'm here at 1 o'clock Tucson time. I think it's Thursday, October something. Who knows? I heard somebody say that it was March 375th or something like that. So I wanted to come on here today, and I've been doing meditations now, maybe once weekly or so. If you come on, please let me know you're here. Say hi. Feel free to ask questions or engage with me today, and we'll just give people a few minutes to hop on here. I want to thank you so much for showing up with me. So I said that I'm teaching meditations once a week here, but I'm teaching a lot. I'm teaching almost all day long, most days, yoga and meditation. I've got small Zoom groups. I've got Facebook Live. So if you want to learn and practice with me a little more, let me know. But these are free, and these are for you and for me, because I really enjoy coming on here with you. So a couple of things I want to talk to you about today. But again, we'll sort of wait and let people check in. And if you check in, let me know how you're doing. We're in week, I don't know, a million of COVID lockdowns, and things are kind of going up and down in the country and in the world. And I want to know, here's what I'm curious about in your world, is what has this opportunity afforded you? For me, I've been teaching so much more. I'm teaching a lot online, like I said, but also I'm teaching and I'm working in the field of my heart's desire and what I feel is my true dharma, which is to support people in living their highest self through meditation. And in fact, I've got a group starting, a small mantra meditation group for a week, maybe this week even, or right into next week. So let me know if you want to jump in on that. It's 4 weeks, $108 to learn how to meditate so that you can meditate forever and ever again for the rest of your life. And I've got a really lovely group going, so let me know if you want to be in on that. All right, so enough with the shameless plugs. But, you know, we also, it's incumbent upon us to turn our shameless plugs into doing the work in the world that we were meant to do. I really believe that this time on the planet will up-level some of us, if we're open to that, to bring our work out into the world. Like, we had to dig deep, we had to be alone for a lot of this time. What did you find out when you went in? What did you learn? What are your gifts in the world? And if you don't know, but you know there's something, let me help you. I would love to support you in that. But I will share now my whole point for being here today. And some of you saw my little leader, which sounded kind of weird. So I've been working for quite a few years on a book about the mind. You know, you've heard, and you can let me know in the chat or whatever if you've heard this, that the mind is a monkey. I don't agree with that at all. That the mind is a hindrance to meditation. I absolutely don't believe in that at all. We think that, or we're taught that, in order to meditate, you've got to shut the mind down or quiet it down. And absolutely, I believe that's a losing game. It will never win. In some practices, I've heard that you are meant to control the mind, or you're meant to train the mind training. And I don't believe in that either. I believe that we're training our awareness. So here's the analogy that I want to give you, and it's a little far-fetched, so stay with me. Imagine you came into your living room and you happen to be a gun owner, and you found your 4-year-old child with your loaded gun in their hand. Would you scream, freak them out, tell them to drop the gun, tell them they were doing the wrong thing, or would you quietly try to talk them down and reason with them, gently put your hand out, ask for the gun, take it, and when you did, you would most likely want to give that child a hug because you'd be scared. She would be feeling your fear. She or he, choose your pronoun, would be feeling your fear. You know, in our panic moment, would we want to scream and yell? Of course we would. Would we want to grab the gun out of the child's hand? Of course we would. But our reason would come in and go, well, that's probably a horrible idea, right? She's going to harm herself, or she's going to harm me, or she's going to, blow out the walls of the house or harm somebody else. So your reason would come over and go, oh, that's probably not the way to handle it. So what I would liken the mind to at this point is that loaded gun. And what is it loaded with? That loaded gun is downloaded with all kind of judgment. You're not smart enough. You're not pretty enough. You don't know how to do this. You don't know how to do that. You have been downloaded negativity in your life forever, probably, from other people, from yourself, from school, maybe from your family. So that your mind is constantly processing all of that negative information. Those are the bullets in the gun of your mind. So when we sit down to meditate, all of a sudden, we've got that loaded gun pointed toward our own heads. And I've got all the judgment, all the negativity. Oh, I can't sit here and be quiet because the mind is going. Or, man, I can't believe what that person said to me. Or, look at all the list of things I have to do. So that sort of loaded gun is battering away with all this negative information that we've been processing for, again, probably most of our lives. So that when we try to meditate, we're going to grab that loaded gun and we're going to yell at it and go, that's the wrong thing to do. That's the mind, right? The same way we wouldn't want to respond to that little child with that loaded gun in their hands. But we do it. We go, oh, I can't meditate because my mind is too busy, because I'm too negative, because I can't calm my mind down. All of these messages that you're getting and retraining yourself with, all the negativity that's kind of pointed toward your head. So what if, when we try to meditate, we can see ourselves as that little child, because that little child that you were is still living within you, and she's probably been hurt a couple times in her life. But what if we did that? And so that when the mind began to go off into its places, we would be gentle with it, and we could be calm with it and talk it back to where we want it, and even give it a little hug and say everything's okay. So your mind wandering out to all of those places is natural and normal in meditation. We just like to judge it and go, well, that's wrong. I can't meditate. I don't know how to do this. I'm not suited for this. This doesn't work for me. Maybe if you were to treat that mind with love and kindness and compassion, you could stay in the room with yourself for a few more moments. And then we can flip and empty that chamber. So all those bullets of negativity can start to drop out. You can almost hear them falling to the floor, like a little clinking metal noise. And then we either get to have an empty chamber, get that? The mind empties a little bit. Or we can fill it with positivity, love, joy, self-compassion. So let's try it. So get into your comfortable seat. And if you're not in a place where you can meditate right now, just listen. I'm going to post this. You can always replay it later. But if you are in a place that you can practice, allow the eyes to close down gently. And bring your awareness and your attention to your breath. Remembering that meditation is, number one, the art of getting your own attention. Number two is training your awareness. You're not training your mind to be different or quiet. You're just training your awareness. And for now, we'll just keep the awareness on the breath. You can watch the inhale. You can watch the exhale. And this watching may be imagery. You might see the breath come in and out behind closed eyes. If you haven't closed your eyes already, allow them to close down gently. You might be listening to the breath. Maybe you're an auditory learner. Maybe you're kinesthetic. You might be feeling the breath. So now decide, how is it that I can keep the lion's share of my awareness on my breath? The mind will be aware of other things. We're going to be aware of sounds in the room. Probably you're not going to go into this deep trance where you're totally disconnected from everything. You're going to hear sounds outside. They might be close to you, they might be far from you. This is not a hindrance to meditation. You might hear your thoughts. Also not a hindrance to meditation. Allow all of this to be in the periphery of your awareness, but gently draw more of your awareness to your breath. Again, you might be seeing the breath, hearing the breath, or feeling the breath. Placing as much of your awareness and your attention as you can on the breath right now. And noticing if when you do that, does the breath change a little bit? Has it gotten maybe a little deeper? It might have gotten more shallow. There's no right answer. Has the breath maybe slowed a bit? Did you even notice that you were breathing before you did this practice? You were. You just didn't notice. Now we'll refine the attention and bring the awareness to one small aspect of the breath. We'll start with the inhale. Just notice one aspect of the inhale. It might be the way the cool air feels coming in your nostrils. It might be the way your collarbones rise on the inhale, or the way your belly gets nice and full on that inhale. And let your belly be full on the inhale. For the next few breaths, just keeping your awareness as much as you can on that one aspect of your inhale. Now the mind might wander, especially when I'm not speaking. So what are you going to do when the mind wanders? Are you going to approach it lovingly and gently and go, oh, look, my mind wandered. I'm going to gently lead it back to that one aspect of the breath, just like you would that 4-year-old. We're not going to worry so much about where the mind went when it wandered away. We'll just notice that it wandered away. It's not important, the places the mind goes. Keep that focus on that one aspect of your inhale. Then we'll gently shift the awareness to one aspect of the exhale. It might be the way the warm breath feels coming over your top lip. It might be the way the rib cage tends to fall a little bit on the exhale. It might be the way you settle down into your seat when you exhale. The exhale is the ruler of relaxation. So just bringing the awareness to one aspect of your exhale. Now remembering that the mind is kind of like a toddler. Sometimes when I want to pay attention to my exhale, the mind resists and goes, no, let's go back to the inhale. Normal. It's fine. You recognize it. You can almost have a sense of humor about it. It's like, oh, but maybe now I'll pay attention to my exhale a little bit. The mind doesn't love change. So when we shift and change and we turn our attention in instead of out, the mind might get a little louder for a moment. Remember, just like that little child with that dangerous thing in their hands, So the mind, when it's been fed all kind of negativity, it can harm you. So we don't want to fight against it. We want to soften it and go, oh, it's just some negative bullets that were put in. The gun itself is empty and harmless. The mind itself can be empty and harmless. We've just got to release those thoughts that aren't true. By focusing on that one aspect of your exhale, you get to place the attention in a place that's more charming, more peaceful, more supportive for you. So again, we're focusing on one aspect of the exhale. Might be the warm air over your top lip, the way the chest gently falls, or the way you get weighty into your seat. Let's just do a gentle body scan. Bring the awareness to the low jaw, allowing the low jaw to release from the upper jaw, so the lips and the teeth might part gently. Even sliding that low jaw back to elongate the neck. And then pay attention to the skin at the forehead and allow it to be smooth. And then follow that awareness to the sides of the scalp, just above and around the ears. And release any tension that's there. It's another place we love to hold tension. And again, as you do this scan, you're trying to bring the awareness into the muscles of the body. But you might notice, very often the mind wanders off. And the minute you notice that your mind has wandered off, you're back in your awareness again. It's lovely, actually. And then just like that toddler, you gently draw the awareness back to where you want it. And we'll gently bring the awareness to the shoulders and allow the shoulders to just release. I don't need to hold up the weight of the world, so I don't need to fortify my shoulders. And I let the arms hang heavy by my sides. There's no work to be done in this moment. And then when I've moved the attention to my chest, that's the area I'd love to expand. So bringing the awareness to the chest cavity, the whole rib cage. This time when you inhale, allow that to expand. You know, life and all that negativity can really contract the heart, contract the rib cage. So allow that space to expand. And then even allow your low belly to expand on that inhale. And then keep that expansion on the exhale. So no need to shut down again. Feel the hips weighty into the seat beneath you. And allow the muscles of the arms and the legs and the hands and the feet just to release. There's a softness in the body. And now notice if the mind is like that loaded gun, what has been loaded in over all the years that's just not true? Just for a few moments. I'm unpopular, I'm unworthy, I'm unlovable, I'm short. Well, that's true, but it's not a bad thing. And then just allow yourself to empty the chamber. Anything that's not loving, supportive, or true just drops to the ground with a plink, and it's rendered useless. You might replace those thoughts or sentiments with something positive, loving, supportive. I am lovable. I'm smart, strong, beautiful. I have a succinct purpose in this world. My life is a gift to myself and others. So deepen your breath into your awareness, into that knowledge. That the only sentiments that could possibly be true are those that come from a place of love and support. You are perfect exactly as you are. And then gently bringing the awareness back to the in-house. So you're kind of bringing your attention, your awareness back up to the surface, back into the moment. Over the next few in-house, you can bring some more movement, maybe life into your body, wiggling fingers and toes. I like to stretch through the neck a little bit. And then we'll slowly allow the eyes to blink open. You always want to come out of meditation very, very slowly. If you want to stay and you have the opportunity, feel free to stay. If you're blinking the eyes open, take your time and maybe look around the room that you're in and notice if your vision has changed. So now every time that you come into a meditative practice and you feed your mind with positive messages about yourself. Remember, we said the mind was like a loaded gun, and right now, for many of us, it's loaded with a lot of misinformation, a lot of negativity, a lot of past history, a lot of other people's beliefs. And it's pointed right at you. And so we have the opportunity to spin that chamber, drop out those negative bullets that are pointed right at our own hearts. Put some positivity, some beauty in there, but you want to handle yourself really gently, right? With a calming voice, with a hug for yourself. So I hope this practice has been helpful for you, meaningful for you. I'm always open to debate, to information, to your insights on it. And remember, we can have some real dangerous information coming in at us, stuff that would harm our souls, harm our hearts. And so we get to diffuse that and take ourselves like that little 4-year-old in a loving embrace and go, you're okay. We're okay. Let me know how I can help. Like I said, I've got a meditation group starting here either this weekend or next. Not sure if we're going to do evenings or Saturdays, so weigh in. It's $108, 4 weeks of mantra meditation. This is meditation you'll have for yourself forever and ever. I'm doing soul readings. I'm doing meditation coaching. Let me know how I can help. I'd love to be there for you, and I'm so grateful that you are here with me today. I hope the rest of your day is great.